Well, hello guys, welcome back. I want to talk to you about Loki and crocodiles. Had an interesting experience. I've been, diving in Africa in the VR experience. And when I'm in the Delta, I decided I was going to take it easy. I was going to avoid the crocodiles. And I was going to just swim and pick up trash, clean it up, because it's pretty heavily saturated with trash. And I'm down there and I'm swimming and I just see out of the corner of my eye, I kind of look up, glance up, and this crocodile, she just passed over. I'm saying she because it felt like female. And I turned around to look at her because here I am gathering trash and I didn't even realize she had been approaching me and swam over top. And she kind of turned and she looked at me and we were doing this thing of I would keep my distance and she would come and she would check me out and she would swim around me. Very curious, not being aggressive at all, being very curious. Remember, this is VR. And she spooked me because she's huge. She's really big. And I would, back off a little while because I have not been attacked by anything except for that one dolphin. And again, I couldn't figure out if that was a glitch in the programming or what, but I didn't want to be attacked by a crocodile in VR, so I would back off. And then she would go and she would hide. And if I would swim closer to where she was hiding, she would come out. And then I would turn my back on her because she would just kind of lay there in the water. And I realized in a weird way she was kind of playing hide and seek with me because I would turn my back and go back to picking up trash and she would drift forward and come closer and closer. But she never attacked because I would get right up to her and she would even swim around me. And even when she was back in behind me, which should have triggered something if she was going to do something, she didn't attack. So she was just very, very curious. And when I would go up to her, she would hide behind this massive crocodile, would hide behind like a tiny tree root the size of my finger. But she was invisible, this massive crocodile. And I almost got this sense, even though it's VR and just a VR animal, of this kind of laughter. And like she was amused. And it was kind of like she was being playful. Now, please do not go to Africa and go swim with crocodiles. There are $20,000 week-long diving expeditions you can go on with crocodiles in Africa, in the part where I was diving. And part of that $20,000 means that a medic is there with you at all times and a medic vac helicopter is on duty at all times. So it is not a safe thing to do. They even tell you this is only for highly experienced divers that have large animal diving experience because animals are unpredictable. And when you're underwater with a croc, she actually can't see. That membrane slides forward and she's blind to everything but light and shadow. So she can see light and she can see shadow and she's going to nom on anything shadow if she's hungry, which means she could bite absolutely anything, but she's a crocodile. She doesn't seem to mind. And I had tried to research, crocodile totem because I was on purpose on a part of the map where she shouldn't have been. She showed up. And she seemed like she was hanging out and trying to keep around me. And I swam away thinking she would despawn. And I swam back that way. I gave her a while and I swam back that way because I figured, well, she'll despawn and she'll be on her proper place in the map. She came swimming towards me like a gigantic reptilian puppy. She was swimming towards me and she was like, hi, you missed me, I missed you. And she was being very gentle. And the reason I think I kept saying she, I asked Loki, I said, do I have alligator as a totem? Is alligator trying to get me a message? Why are alligators finding me every time I dive? He's like, because there's alligators? I'm like, no, Loki, because the great white doesn't find me. I have to hunt down anything else. You can't find the animals on this map, but the crocodiles are finding me. And there's nothing like you're diving in this silty water and all of a sudden this huge crocodile just appears in front of you. It's really beautiful, but it's really intense. And he's like, yeah. I said, do I have crocodile as totem? Nah. And I looked up crocodile totem. It's one of those totem animals people like to hate on. If you have a crocodile totem, you're a bad person. Except for in Voodoo, and that's a whole different kettle of fish about crocodiles. And poor crocodile ends up being parts. Anyhow, it wasn't crocodile totem and it wasn't Sobek, but I found one thing while I was doing research that they used to kill these poor things and in the medieval times stuff them and cover them with chains and nail them to a church wall to symbolize the defeat of Satan, because this animal was pure Satan. People back then were stupid because they lacked something we call science. So, look, he's like, you preach it. So, they consider this animal to be purely evil, just like they demonized wolves and any other predator that did the same exact stuff we did. Anything that competed with man was usually demonized. So, I'm thinking, well, who's the Norse devil? I have to figure that one out. That one's really hard. Who do people say is the devil? Who's really bad and sneaky? Who comes out of nowhere? Who's really strong? Who's really potent because, like, you know, virility symbolism and everything? I'm like, oh yeah, Loki. And he's just smiling, and so now he's using crocodiles. He's using crocodiles for whatever reason, but crocodile has a lot of good aspects, like being tenacious, being patient, staying hidden when it's best to stay hidden, knowing what you're kind of going after. She doesn't know if she's underwater, but she can come on land too. It's not like she can't come on land. And actual crocodiles make wonderful parents. The bull will protect his mates and protect the area. And the mother will protect the young. She will take them in her mouth when they're newly hatched and take them down to the water very, very gently. She puts her open jaws in the water and she swishes her head back and forth to get all the sand off her baby. So she literally gives her babies a bath and then she stays in there for hours. And this is after she's sat on the bank for maybe 3 months, protecting those babies. And, you know, she protects them from predators and everything. So she's got to be starved, but she doesn't hurt her babies, and she swishes her head back and forth. And for as long as those babies need, mommy is the nursery. There's nothing like a giant crocodile's mouth for a nursery. Those babies are safe. And the bull is really excited, and the bull will come over and he will watch his babies, and he can help out. He can actually take eggs in his mouth and roll them around real gently and actually help break the eggs open and help them hatch. So they're very good, loving parents. They want everything the best in the world for their babies. Now, since they're reptiles, their babies come out fully ready to tackle the world. They are ready. They haven't experienced much of life, but they're already tiny little predators. They're ready to go, which is why snakes don't knit little sweaters and everything else, because when her babies come out of the egg, they're ready to go too. She's a protective mom once she has that clutch, but once they hatch, they're ready to go. And I thought about Loki, and I thought about those good parenting skills that crocs have, and, you know, then the little tiny crocodiles, they're a little wee version of mom and dad, and they have to go off and they hunt, and they're so tiny, they can only hunt like the tiniest fish and sometimes insects, and of course their prey as well, because if you're not mommy or daddy, you really don't care about them, and you may have a crocodile baby snack. But I was thinking about Loki and the association to crocodiles, and, you know, he is like that. He scares the hell out of a lot of people. A lot of people are terrified of him. But he's this very loving maternal and paternal presence, and he will carry you around in his mouth, so to speak, these huge teeth surrounding you. And you'll be perfectly safe. Nobody's going to harm you when Loki is near you, and he can take you into the deep water, metaphorically speaking, and he can, go like out with his head and like get you all clean, and he'll keep his mouth open for as long as it takes for you to swim in and out and explore, and then when you're ready, you go off on your own. But he's still watching you, unlike, actual crocodiles. He still has a parental or protective instinct towards you, and he'll watch you. And he'll be very protective and as nurturing as, he can be. He is extremely nurturing. If he were a crocodile, he'd be the crocodile that, would be picking the young back up after 2 minutes and, setting them on the shore and worrying about them and, are you okay? But he's very sweet. And it was nice that he used that because he uses octopuses and everything else with me, and now he used crocodile. So now he has crocodile too, and he's claiming alligator because people are like, crocodiles and alligators are just about the same. No, they're not. Not at all. I love my reptiles. They're not even remotely the same. Yeah, it's like crocodile and alligator, yes, both may bite you, but that's where the similarity ends. Oh my god. So it was really neat to swim with her and to have this beautiful huge creature keep circling around me curiously, and she would slash that tail through the water, that powerful tail, and you could tell if she would have hit me with that tail, that would have been the end with me. But she was actually going out of her way to be gentle and not hit me with her tail and not bite or anything or come really aggressive. The only thing that's ever been aggressive towards me in that game was a dolphin. So it was a little scary because she's so big, and crocodiles have been known to attack people, but it was, excuse me, it was also really beautiful and empowering because, she clearly wasn't programmed to attack, so she was being kind of curious, and it felt like she was distinctly playing with me. When I would turn my back, she would get close, and when I would turn around and look, she'd swim away, and then I would have to come find her, and she would come out, and we kept kind of playing tag and hide and seek and stuff like that. Please don't do that in real life. Real life animals are not safe to decide you're going to teach them tag. They don't understand tag. If you chase them, they might fight. So, so, it's just food for thought. If Loki wants to have crocodiles, Loki will have crocodiles. He's often been called the god of whatever he wants. So it was just interesting. If you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.